Welcome to Weighing In with Way Less MD and Wellness. My name is Cheri and I am owner of Way Less MD, where we are experts in weight loss. But we understand that weight loss is more complex than just calories and exercise, and we look at the whole body for optimal wellness. So today we are going to be talking about a very important topic about holiday weight gain, and I am here with Erica Gutierrez, who is a registered dietitian nutritionist and has been working with me for over 5 years. And we've kind of put together some important topics throughout the year, but today we're obviously going to hone in on top reasons of how you can really avoid the weight gain over the holidays. So welcome, Erica.
Thanks for having me. So this is a very important topic, and I would say the majority of people, even people that are a healthy weight, they struggle with this because it's a big lifestyle change during the holidays. And we're so conditioned with seeing it as overwhelm. You know, it is a busier time. It really comes down to mentality. It comes down to, I think we have about 8 different tactics. So hopefully something resonates with you along the way. And Cheri and I are going to share at the end what our personal goals are for this holiday season. So I'm excited to get started.
All right, awesome. So I'll start with the first one, which is stop letting go and think you can lose it all after the holidays. So really, this is a common mentality that most people have. And like we're talking to people all the time and really helping them understand that life does not stop during the holidays. Continue to do all of the things that keep you healthy. Continue your exercise regimen, continue to get good sleep. Really don't allow those things to go as well, even though, you may not be eating perfectly during the holidays.
So, right, instead of thinking, so let's say there are some extra cookies or there are bigger meals presented to you. If you kept all those other foundational things, the little extra food that you're having will not make as big of an impact as what you actually think. So
absolutely,
those foundational things are important. Another big thing is drinking your calories. So this is something, if somebody drinks regular soda every day, we've seen just eliminating the soda, people can start losing weight. But during the holidays specifically, there are a lot of high calorie food or drinks that people are having. So we looked up a peppermint mocha from Starbucks right before this, and 440 calories, so that's a full meal, and 56 grams of sugar. That is beyond what we're even supposed to have in a day. So if we start our day out like that, you're set for a blood sugar roller coaster. You're going to start craving shortly after you have that, and your body didn't even register it had those calories. So switching out, having lower calorie options, even Starbucks has other options that don't have as much sugar, and then drinking more water, especially between the high calorie alcoholic drinks.
Absolutely. I know that is such an important one because really all it takes is doing a little planning, doing a search on, some of the common drinks that you're drinking and really look at the number of calories and sugar because some of them are loaded for sure. So the third one I will say is stop going to parties hungry. And again, this seems to be a common behavior that people practice during the holidays. And really, the reason why this becomes a problem is because then food becomes the focus during that party. And when food becomes the focus, you end up eating more, because people do believe that, oh, I want to save my calories for the party. And I can't tell you what a disadvantage that can be for people because not only, study after study shows that, unless you're an intermittent faster, and you're going to talk a little bit about that, but eating that amount of food at one given period, what that does, to your body. So really we're always telling our patients to make sure that you're eating a good meal, before. So again, you're not so fixated on heading to the food table.
Right. It is. We've talked about this before, but it is total quantity as well. And you can see, your body is storing fat after a certain amount of intake.
Absolutely.
It just instantly is doing that. So
absolutely.
So this is a good one. Stop doing the same thing every year, hoping for a different outcome. This is a huge one. We actually have the ability to take control. We have the ultimate control over what happens. And I think most people feel like everything is absolutely out of control. So there might be outstanding circumstances or things like that, but we can always control our food. So if you have that mentality of, I feel out of control with food, that's one to really dig into. But what we have found, and we usually run some different fasting programs during the holidays, is that intermittent fasting and fasting can really be a great option for people.
Yeah.
It helps curb hunger. It helps regulate blood sugars so that those foods, those tempting foods, aren't quite as tempting for you. So with this one, I would say experiment with a new approach. What did not work last year, and backtrack from there, figure out what that trigger was, and try something different. You'll be setting yourself up for success for sure.
Absolutely. So the next one is stop snacking and just binging or overeating. Really taking a step back and realizing what is all going into your body. Because, I think, again, it is kind of that mindful, that mentality of really recognizing, because we tend to neglect some of the common things that we're used to when it's not a holiday season. We're more mindful of like what's going in our body and how many calories. But this is an opportunity to really listen to your body, listen to the hunger cues. If you're at a particular party or celebration, or even in your home, what are those trigger foods? Identifying the trigger foods can be very beneficial. And also, what I always talk to people about is, and actually I was talking to a patient about this yesterday, is when you feel the eating is getting a little out of control, kind of have a plan for a behavioral change, so you can redirect when that moment arises. So it can be simply, because people know when that's happening, right? Like they're going for their fourth dessert or what have you. So have a plan of, maybe you go and drink a glass of water or something like that, because it's not that particular, behavior is going to change everything, but it's redirecting you and stopping the behavior in its tracks, basically. So that was a little long-winded, because that's what I tend to do. But again, just kind of keeping those things in mind is going to help in the long run.
All really good information, Cheri. So next one is stop making a few events into the huge problem of gaining weight. So we look at Thanksgiving. People have started a month ago. Some of our patients are already like, well, what's going to happen for Thanksgiving? And for a lot of people, it's 1 or 2 meals. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. 1 or 2 meals is not going to cause you to gain 10 pounds. Right. It's not possible. So shifting the mindset on that and going into it, knowing what you're going to have. But then if you made a mistake, move on from the mistake. Yeah. It is only one day. So I think it's also really important to find ways to not feel deprived. So that's what often, it's that yes or no mentality of, well, I'm not going to be able to have what I want. So then that day, giving in and having everything that they wanted. So finding ways to not feel deprived, I think, is a huge one. Yeah. Keeping those trigger foods out of sight. If you're hosting, don't have as many dessert options. Have one, so that you're not feeling deprived, that, oh, I didn't have some of everything. Right. A lot of different options.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so the next one is stop wearing baggy clothes, or stop wearing clothes that tend to, tend to fit you a little bit better, so you have more room to eat more, basically. Sweatpants. Yeah. So, and there's studies on this that show that if people, like, in the medical industry, the nurses, that they, because they can wear larger clothes every single day, they're not in tune to their body. They're not in tune to gradual weight gain. So during the holidays, and I mean, this is funny because we all probably know someone that says, oh, I'm gonna put on my fat pants, right? But, and again, it's okay, but keeping in mind that if you're continuously doing that, you are likely, doing some wrong things over the holidays. And I think it's important to point that out, because you did just mention before that it is, there's a certain number of events that happen during the holiday season. And if, let's say, you're having 3 or 4 bad days, that's not going to turn into a 10-pound weight gain. So really being mindful and staying on top of your weight during the holidays. And that might even be weighing yourself. Mm-hmm. We don't push people to weigh themselves every single day, just because, it can cause more stress than anything. And there's so many different fluctuations that's happening in the body, but this may be the opportunity to set that range for yourself and keep a better gauge on where your weight is going.
That's a really good point. People really stress over their weight, and that stress can cause additional issues mm-hmm. because hormonal shifts in cortisol. So during the holiday season, one thing against us is all the stress, all the overbooking. We do way too many things during that time frame. So being realistic in that we can't do it all, and even saying no. Let's say you had a busy week and you thought you could handle that extra party, not feeling bad and doing it for yourself and saying no, or leaving early. You talked about in the beginning, the sleep and stress piece mm-hmm. is such a huge part of it. So build in, that's the other piece, to be proactive, is build in restoration and rest and all those things your body needs when we are doing more.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially, unfortunately, a lot of people are going into the holidays already in an unhealthy state. And now this is just really exacerbating the issue even more. So if you can make those simple changes, this year, things can really turn around. And I think we can kind of wrap up mm-hmm. and really identify maybe some key things that people can leave with, because we kind of went through a number of things that you can think about. But I would say one of the most important things to do this year is to write down 2 to 3 actionable goals, measurable goals. So again, this is not wishing for something. This is writing down something that you're actually going to do. So that might, I think, we're going to talk about what our plans are, basically.
The other thing I want to mention is, if it resonated with you that you do not have control over the holidays, that you do not have control over your food, journal that out. Write out a vision of what control would feel like, how mm-hmm. you would feel different, and start making that an action as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are some of your goals this holiday season?
Okay, so my goals for the holiday season is to maintain my sleep regimen, for sure, because my health is immediately affected if I don't get enough sleep. And so you had mentioned it a short time ago that, maybe sometimes you might have to just leave early some days, or you have to alter, what you would normally do. The other thing is adding water in between drinks. So my drink preference is wine. And so what I tried to do, or what I'm going to do this year that I'm committing to, is having 2 glasses of wine for every glass of wine I have.
2 glasses of water.
2 glasses. 2 glasses of water for every glass of wine.
Got it.
So I obviously stay hydrated. I don't drink because it's like, how it is. You just mm-hmm. all of a sudden you're 3 glasses in and it's only 2 hours into the party. So just being more mindful of that. What about you?
Okay, I have a bunch of them. One of them is wearing clothes that make me feel good. So that helps me stay on track with what I'm doing. When I feel schlumpy, if that's even a word, and wearing sweatpants and all of that, it's much easier to slide into mm-hmm. the bad habits. When I'm dressed up and feeling nice, that tends to help me. Mm-hmm. I'm an introvert, so being around a lot of people during the holidays gets really overwhelming to me. So I will be checking in with myself each day. And, if I can't go to an event because I'm, you know, going to feel like it stretches me too thin, I'm not going to go. I'm going to feel okay saying no.
Yeah.
And that typically has been very hard for me to do.
Yeah.
I don't think you even knew this, but I'm for my 40th birthday training for a 10K.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm actually doing the turkey trot. I'm doing an 8K on Thursday, and then keeping up with the training. So
that's amazing.
That will be a good thing to help keep me on track and motivated.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I always do fasting with food during the holiday season. I'll pick 5 days and do that as well. So
yeah, we really
need a good balance.
It is when we did it that one year. I mean, people had such success with that. So we'll have to talk about that more.
Yeah.
Great. Well, those are awesome goals for you, for sure. So the last thing that I did want to mention is there are so many ways that we obviously help people, because it's not that every single person has to do, every single thing that's laid out, but that's where we can really help people strategize. We do offer free consultations. So we really encourage you to come in. It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll really get an idea of where we can really help you improve your health.
Great.
So thanks again. I hope, obviously it's always nice to talk to you and bring information to people out there. So hopefully this will help them this holiday season.
As long as they take those 1 or 2 or even 3 actionable goals, they will have greater success than they did last season. And those are the steps people need to take. It's not that all or nothing.
Absolutely. And write it down and put it on your fridge.
Exactly.
And you will commit to it. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right, take care.